multiply the following two rational expressions. So the first is 3x minus 15 over 4x squared minus 2x times 20x squared minus 10x over 15x minus 75. So the first thing we do, before I start combining these, I want to factor out any terms possible. So first thing I want to do is notice that for 3x minus 15, you can factor out a 3, because 15 is 5 times 3, right? So you can write this as 3 times x minus 5, and you can check for yourself when you distribute that 3 back in that you're going to get 3x minus 15. For the denominator, you can factor out a 2 and an x, right? Because 4x squared minus 2x you can rewrite as 2 times 2 times x minus 2x, and notice that there's a 2x in both those terms. So when we factor out a 2x, what we're left with is, in the first term, we're left with 2x minus 1. Then for the second rational expression, we can factor out a 10x for the same reasoning. So let's do that. We factor out 10x. What's left in the first term is 2x minus 1. And then finally, in the denominator of the second rational expression, you can factor out a 15. So what's left when you factor out a 15 is x minus 5. So now that we've factored everything, we can just combine them. And remember, when we combine rational expressions, it's the same thing as when we combine fractions. So if you have a over b times c over d, the result is going to be the product of the numerators over the product of the denominators. So we can rewrite this as 3x minus 5 times 10x times 2x minus 1. And then in the denominator, 2x times 2x minus 1 times 15 times x minus 5. So notice that there's an x minus 5 in the numerator and the denominator related by product, so we can factor that out and cancel it. And similarly with the 2x minus 1. And there's more to cancel out, but let's just write our result thus far. So we have 3 times 10x left over in the numerator, and then 15 times 2x left over in the denominator. So now we see what we can cancel out of there. So for the 3 and the 15, they both have a 3 in common that you can factor out. So reducing 3 by 3, we get 1. Reducing 15 by 3, we get 5. And then for the 10x and the 2x, well, the x's cancel out. And then for 10 and 2, we can reduce by 2. And when we reduce 2 by 2, we're left with 1. And 10 by 2, we're left with 5. So now let's write what we have left. On the numerator, we have 1 times 5, which is just 5. On the denominator, we have 5 times 1, which is just 5. And that simplifies simply to 1. So we ended up getting a really nice result from a really nasty looking rational expression to begin with.